Right, we're back out here on the old Plymouth. I think the last time I posted a video, was running the car and letting it kind of warm up, and the water pump started puking water everywhere. So since then, I have managed to get a new water pump put in, and that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I had to, of course, unhook the top radiator hose, remove the electric fan off the radiator, take the belt off, and 4 bolts on the water pump. Did not have to remove any of the accessory drives, none of the accessories. That was quite nice to actually be able to do that. So I've got a new water pump on, got coolant in it. Somehow or another, this car ate my radiator cap. When I had it running last, I just had the radiator cap sitting down in there, and it had built up enough pressure that it popped the radiator cap up out of the radiator, and it bounced around and went somewhere, and I have yet to find it. I have looked down in nooks and crannies, and it's not under the car. It's got to be in a frame rail or something. I just haven't jacked the car up to find it yet. So I'll get to that eventually. But now I have turned my attention to trying to get this thing wired. I got a universal wiring harness off of Amazon. It's a 21 circuit wiring harness. The wires are kind of labeled. I don't know if you can see it in here. Like that one says dome light. They are labeled every so often. Some of them are super hard to see and read. You can see that one's labeled in there. It comes with pretty much everything you need. I spent probably about an hour or so last night deleting circuits I did not need. So this is everything that I pulled out of this wiring harness. Like power windows, power locks, power antenna. Don't need any of that stuff, so there's no sense of having it in the wiring harness. So that's all been deleted. Now all I gotta do is I've got to find a place. Get this turned around here. Here's your fuse panel. It's all labeled pretty nice. It's got 2 flasher units, one for turn signals, one for hazard. Horn relay. So, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty decent harness. Now all I gotta do is figure out where I'm going to mount that. They suggest mounting it under the dash on the driver's side. I don't know that I have a good spot to do that on the driver's side, but I'm going to take a look. It may have to go on the firewall in the engine compartment. May be better. But I'm going to work on getting that, find a place to mount that, and then I'll work on getting these wire bundles strung out. They come kind of pre-separated. Of course, I undid them so I could get wires out of them. This bundle here comes to the back. It has your dome light and rear turn signals and tail lights and all that stuff in it. Fuel sending unit, I think fuel pump is in there. So this group will come to the back. Then you've got a group that's for under the dash. You've got a group that goes to the front. Then you've got a group that goes to the engine compartment. So yeah, trying to get that all separated out. So that's going to be my next step. I'm going to work on finding a place to put that and get it mounted. And then I will get back with you. Right. We're in the shop on the old Plymouth again. And I've been working on wiring. And yeah, I know, that looks like a nightmare, and it is. But the best way to do it is just to take one bite at a time and get her done. So, kind of recap, this is a 20 circuit, I think, universal wiring harness kit. Come with a fuse box and all that. And the wiring is labeled here and there, so you can kind of track everything down. So you split off the bundles, and you get like your rear bundle goes to the back. You get your under the dash bundle. You get your steering column bundle for your turn signals and all that. And you get your bundle for the engine and the headlights, and you run them to the front. So quick rundown on all that. I've pretty well got the engine wired up as far as the temp sensor, the oil pressure sensor, the distributor, all that good stuff. And I'm working on getting the alternator hooked in. So on these newer style alternators, you've got an exciter wire here, and you need to put in this little diode, and they're not very expensive. Here's the packet. I did this on the Scout, worked great. So I'm going to put one in line here. And what you do is you wire in this diode on that exciter wire, and then your exciter wire from your harness. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Probably not. It's wanting to focus on the valve cover more than anything. Anyway, this is the exciter wire from the fuse box. So it will come around and wire in right there, and you put that diode in line, and it will kind of tell the alternator that it needs to charge. So that's what I'm getting ready to do on this one. I've got this group of wires here. One of them's for the horn, which I'm not sure where it's going to go yet, so I'll just tie it off to the side for now. I've got one of these is for the alternator power. One of these is for the starter relay. And then I forget what this other one is here off the top of my head. But that's what I'm working on now. I'll get this little group done up, and then I'll work on my headlights. Pull out my old 6-volt headlights. I've got new wire connectors for those, color coded. This is the bundle of wires for that. Come up here to the driver's side and then loop around and go to the passenger side. So yeah, let me get that going. Here's my new headlights I'm going to put in. Got turn signals built into them, because this car did not originally come with turn signals. That was an option, and it only had one center brake light. So these lights up front here at the bottom, they're just marker lights. They're not turn signal lights. So that's what I'll keep them as. It's just marker lights, and I'll have the turn signals will be built into the headlights. So yeah, let me get going on that stuff, and I'll catch up with y'all here in a while. Right, we're in the shop, still doing wiring on the old Plymouth. And right now, I'm working on getting the new headlights done. Here's my new headlights. They're an LED with a built-in turn signal. So being they're LED, they got a little bigger base on them. Here's the old headlight out of the car, 6-volt. And check this out, if we can make it out here. That says March 18th of 1949. So yeah, this headlight still worked. The only thing was the chrome lining was gone. But yeah, it's a 6-volt sealed beam, and it was still working. So anyway, that is our old headlight. If you can see, it's got a much smaller base. Here's my headlight bucket. I put new grommets in it. There's a grommet up here for the ground wire. And you've got these locating divots in the bucket. Here's the old divots on the old headlight. The new headlight has these little rectangle divots there. And get this flipped around. Your headlight fits in the bucket like so. And then it's got that chrome ring that screws and down around there and holds it in place. Well, the new headlight, like I said, has a bigger base and it has this provision for the turn signal. It will not fit in there without some modifications. As you can see, that's all I got. So what I've done, got this one finished already, and get my towel off of it. I took my nifty difty tin snips. This inner lining here is just aluminum. I took my tin snips, cut around the inside of the bucket. You see, I cut out this whole little inner circle here, probably 1/2 inch or so, maybe 5/8. And that got the base of the new headlight to fit down in good, but I still had a little problem with the turn signal provision that bumps out. It still was hitting this housing. So I've got this junk 3/8 extension, and being that that is just aluminum, I was able to take this and a hammer and beat that aluminum back down where I wanted it, and now the headlight fits in there. I took my Dremel tool and kind of smoothed up the inside of this housing, so that's good. See if I can get, I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. Try and get my new headlight down in here. Get that lined up. And so now, get everything lined up in place. The headlight fits in like it should. So now I get this other bucket modified, and then I can work on getting the wiring done. And these will be ready to go back in the car. All right, I'll catch up with you later. Right, I've got the new headlight in, and I think I said these were LEDs, and they're not. They're halogen headlights. That's part of the reason why they got to have a bigger base on them too. But yeah, they're a halogen headlight with a built-in turn signal. And I've got the bezels all cleaned up. The headlights all mounted in. I've got a pigtail wired up. And I'm going to test them out here. I've got ground ran. Let me get my hot wire over here. The red wire is my turn signal. So let's see what that does. Bink. There we go. Yeah. So that'll be nice. Then the brown wire is low beam. Ooh, there you go. Low beam. And then the green wire is high beam. Oh, yep. That will be nice. All right, so there is one headlight bucket modified, headlight put in, pigtail wired up. So I still got to do the other one, and I still haven't ran the wires in the car yet. So I've got them laid out here. That's all this mess right here. So I need to get them ran and poked out, and then the other side ran across. So slowly but surely I'm getting there. I'll just keep plugging at it. Right, got headlight number 2 done. Just making sure everything works on it. So there's turn signal. I can get my wire. Yeah, there we go. There's low beam. Yep. And high beam. Yep. Cool. So that one will be ready to rock and roll. I figured while I'm here, I might as well show you all a little bit of what I'm using. Just some handy dandy stripper. wire strippers. Make things easier. I am using crimp ends. I know everybody complains about using crimp ends, but it'll be alright, trust me. Little crimper tool, some side cutters, and I bought a roll of shrink tube. It's a lot easier and cheaper, just that way you can cut it to the length you need to fit what you're doing. This shrink tube has glue inside it. I'll shrink this down here for just a minute and show you. But I bought a size that would fit over my crimp end, so I can slide over the end of the crimp and the wire, and then that shrink tube will help seal that up. And then I'm using cloth tape, Red Wolf cloth tape. This stuff is really strong, really sticky. It sticks to itself more than it sticks to your skin or anything. But once you wrap a wire set up, see, I'm using it like a loom. So once you wrap that around there, you're going to have to cut it off. Trust me, I know. Because it will not pull back apart very easily. So let me show you this shrink tube here real quick, if I can get stuff done one-handed or not. I'm just using a butane torch, propane torch is all I've got. So let me switch hands here and see what I can do. Move some stuff out of the way and we'll just shrink it right there on the truck. Don't need it to be super hot flame. Just shrink that down. Oops, getting a little too warm. Let me roll that around on the other side. Got this roll of shrink tube off of Amazon, of course. And I don't know, I think I want to, can't remember sure how much I paid for it, but I think I got like a 25-foot roll. Something like that. But anyway, it shrinks down really nice. And then it has that glue inside of it, so it will glue the two pieces together. And you get it warm enough, the glue actually starts to come out of the shrink wrap. So yeah, that's what I'm using. Like I said, people complain about crimp connectors, but I tell you, it's simple and it's a heck of a lot quicker than trying to solder all the joints. And I think with that weather tight connection, with that shrink tube, I think I'll be okay. So now what I need to do, I got my headlights ready to go back in. I have got to get my wires ran and fish through where they need to go. I got my marker lights down there I've got to do, and I'm going to have to go to the store, go to town, go to the parts store and get a nifty little, I don't see one here anywhere close. Get a little nifty little wire connector for those. Oh, here it is right here. This goes inside the light socket and then the light bulb pushes against it. And this is the old original wire and it's super brittle. So I want to get, I think I can get new ones of these at the parts store. If nothing else, maybe I can get on Amazon or something. And I'll get that rewired and a pigtail coming out for the marker lights. Of course, this was all 6-volt stuff, so I'll have to get 12-volt bulbs. And I want to see if I can get amber bulbs in that style of bulb. I don't know if I can or not. Because I want these to be amber instead of clear. That's what I did on the Scout. The Scout has clear lenses, but I put amber bulbs in it, and it looks really sharp. So, I'm slowly but surely picking at this. I may yet, I'll try and get one of these headlights wired up and at least stuck in the car. so you can see what that whole assembly looks like on the car. It won't be functional yet because I don't have all the wiring done, but I am slowly but surely getting there. So that's going to be it for now. Still got a long way to go on wiring. I'll catch back up with y'all later on. Thanks. All right, got the wires for the passenger side all taped up with the fabric tape, and then got wires sticking out the end there. I will run this side, find a way to run it over to the other side. I've got all the wires for the front wire taped, and they will get fastened along here like so, and eventually all the wires here will get that fabric tape wrapped around them too, and it'll all get fastened up in place like so. But I'm waiting on doing the engine wiring. The engine wiring is complete, I believe, but I don't want to do the tape on it yet, just in case something is wrong and I got to redo something. It'll make it easier to redo it if I need to. But I know the headlight and turn signal wires are going to be finalized. So I've got them taped up. This is the driver's side. I'll get them wired in for the headlight and turn signal, and then they will get the fabric tape put on them, and then the wire loom will all get fastened in place there. So getting there. Right, got the headlights in and wired up. I've just got a jumper wire off of a battery sitting on the floor running them. I don't have my marker lights done yet. They're wired, but I need new bulbs, and I want amber bulbs, so I've got them on order. So yeah, that's low beam. Let me go over here and switch my wire, if I can, from low to high. Give me just a second here. All right, and that gives us high beam. Puts it out further. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Don't mind it. Let's undo that real quick. All right, turn some lights on. And that's what they look like with the lights off. I think that's going to be all right. I'll have to get them adjusted and everything, but that's all right. And eventually, when I go to paint, I'm going to have to take the chrome bezel around it off anyway. But that's going to be next year's project. This year, my goal is to get this thing wired and running. About the only thing that's holding me up of having it running and moving is the wiring. So my goal is to try and get that done. So this has got the front ends pretty well wired. The engine compartment's wired. Like I said, I'm going to wrap. You see how I wrapped the wires here? I'm going to wrap all the wires are going to get wrapped with that cloth tape. But the front is done, or should be done. Next, I'm going to move on to the back. I've got the wires ran there. I have to pull the seat base or back, one of the two, so I can run the wires into the trunk. And then I'll have to hook up for brake lights, tail lights. Don't have any backup lights to worry about. I am going to put a trunk light in. I'll have to get that. I just remembered that I don't have one. And the electric fuel pump, because this is a pigtail for it that I had rigged up when I had it running before. The electric fuel pump's back here. The brake light switch is in line on the brake line back here. And the dome light. The dome light's back here in the back. That wire comes back this way too. So I've got a lot more to do, and I don't know what I did with them. As I said before, these were not turn signals before. They were just marker lights, tail lights. So they just have a single pole bulb socket in them. So I need a double pole socket for tail and turn. So I'm going to have to do that. I'll probably get you in when I'm fixing that up. And then these will be brake light, turn signal, tail. This will be a third center brake light. That's what that originally was a center brake light. And then of course this bulb is for your license plate light. So yeah, I'm going to work on the trunk area next and the back end of the car, get that all done. And then all that spaghetti mess in there. So that's where we're at now. I'm probably going to go ahead and end this here. And I'll bring you back when I'm getting into something interesting on the trunk area. Probably when I'm getting those tail light sockets put in. But for now, that's what we're going to do. I think I like the way those headlights turned out. I like them a lot. So, yeah. Like I said, I get my bulbs for my turn signals, or my park lights. Those are park lights up here, marker lights. Get my bulbs in for those, and then I'll get those put in, covers put on. But yeah, I'm plugging at it, getting it done. All right, thanks.